no matter what happens on Sunday, and I know it's hard to do, there is a need to be a little patient.
I'm not going to be patient. It's week 1 of the NFL season. You say it all the time, too. It is win or panic.
Yes.
There is no greater overreaction throughout the entire NFL season than week 1.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus podcast. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are here in the building, week 1 upon us, the Bills with practice today. We're going to get into what we saw, but first, Mike, we have something special coming up tomorrow on Thursday.
Yeah, because we haven't been together in the podcast room for a while. It's being renovated. We're having work done. It's being renovated. It's going to be fantastic. Next week, when we get in there, it will be the Connors and Ferris podcast studio. We will be in there next week, so you'll get a chance to see the way we've made some changes, and we're looking forward to it.
A much more podcasty feel,
yes,
I'd like to say.
Yeah.
And shout out, thanks to Connors and Ferris for sponsoring that. Also, I don't know if you're new to this channel, but on Thursday, whenever you're listening to this,
September 4th.
Thirsty Turtle and Victor, we're having a meet and greet from 5 to 7, live podcast to follow. If you can't make it, I know a couple people said, oh, they're too far away, or school's obviously starting this week. Don't worry, there are 5 other live shows. It's the Buffalo Plus Tour, but it kicks off Thursday, Thirsty Turtle and Victor.
Yeah, we would love to see you there. We'll have more live stuff coming up, but of course, come if you can. We would love to meet you, hang out, even get a Mike Catalana autograph if you're into that, all that great
Hall
stuff.
of Famer.
Hall of Famer. That is true.
Yeah.
All right, Bills with practice
Just put
today.
a finger in my face. I'm aware.
You're lucky it was this finger.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so the Bills practice today. I think the biggest thing we should talk about as we start is just the injuries and where the Bills stand as we head into week 1. Trey White not practicing today. Christian Benford limited, and we did see him out there. Khalil Shakir has been back to practice. He was also out on the field in a limited capacity. Where do you stand in terms of your concern level as we head in?
Overall, it's better than I anticipated. The Trey White thing is worse, though, because he's not out there on Wednesday. I would say that does not bode well for him being on the field on Sunday.
Thursday will be the big day.
It will be. So we'll see if he gets out there. I was hopeful to see him out here on a limited basis. That's not the case. So now you have to say, okay, Christian Benford, I think he's going to be fine. He certainly spoke to us like a guy who was planning on playing in the game. But now you look and you go, okay, you got Jamarcus Ingram. You have Dorian Strong. It should be wild to have 6th-round picks on both sides starting in the game against the Ravens.
You did, but we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But I think it was like rookie camp or mandatory mini camp when I was like, this Dorian Strong guy is impressive. And I thought my joke at the time, or my hot take at the time, they're interchangeable, those words for me, was that I thought Dorian Strong could work his way onto the starting 11 on defense. And I said maybe it was by safety. It may just be because of injuries to the secondary. But it could be Dorian Strong, the 6th rounder out of Virginia Tech.
He has a superpower.
No, don't give him that.
Your superpower is you can
throwing
figure
a bunch
out
of shit at the wall.
Yes. And it's like, it might be safety. It might be somewhere else. By the way, 2 corners got hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't say how.
It's a superpower. He can get there. That arm will reach to tap that back so well. Very well done.
So well.
We took care of him. He's back. Oh, he's back.
Okay. All right. So the injuries, you're right.
Yeah.
I think for this team, the Trey White stuff is concerning because you want to have him out there because of the caliber player that he has been. Obviously, just his resume, he knows what it's like to be against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. If Dorian Strong were to be out there, a rookie, and that's a tough test to first start. But in terms of the other guys, Khalil Shakir, good to have him back.
Yeah.
Christian Benford, that does appear to be trending in the right direction. But I will say it's one of those things where you do look at the injuries that the Ravens have, and I think that those have been pretty considerable as well.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe we're here at week 1. I feel like we've just been waiting for so long.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times we thought these injuries are like, they'll be fine by the start of the regular season, and then all of a sudden the regular season sneaks up on you, and all of a sudden now you're wondering where these guys are for week 1. The big loss, especially for Trey, is just you talk about not only the caliber of player, but it's the experience, it's the knowledge and being in the system. Because we talked to a lot of the players today, and they all mentioned how versatile the Ravens offense can be. So whether they want to be just a run the ball down your throat, old school football, or they can spread you out and really challenge the secondary in the corner. So that's what's so difficult when you have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in the backfield. So you'd always want to err on the side of experience than rookies. The Bills just might not have an option, especially at defensive tackle, Mike, where they're going to have to go by default. They're going to have to play TJ Sanders and Deion Walker quite a bit as well.
We wanted to see how these guys look. Hey, fellas, that's Derrick Henry coming at you. That's Lamar Jackson trying to run around you. That's a way to start. So we will see how it plays out on Sunday night. I will say this. For me to tell people to be patient is a lot. Even my 3-year-old granddaughter says, Grandpa, you need to be patient, she says to me. But I look at this defense, the way it's going to line up Sunday, whether it's Trey White or not, or whether it's the rookies, right, where you don't have Trey, you don't have Max Hairston, you don't have Larry Ogunjobi, you don't have Michael Hoyt.
Yeah.
These are guys they will be counting on at some point. So the defense will look, doesn't necessarily mean better, but it will look a lot different by 6, 7, 8 weeks into the season. It's hard to say that. This first week is a lot to ask because, listen, Bosa's been healthy. He's looked good. But he's got to go out and play a lot of snaps right away.
Yeah.
They don't have the backups on the defensive line. So I just think no matter what happens on Sunday, and I know it's hard to do, there is a need to be a little patient.
I'm not going to be patient. It's week 1 of the NFL season. You say it all the time, too. It is win or panic.
Yes.
There is no greater overreaction throughout the entire NFL season than week 1.
Right.
That is true. The only thing that really stands out in my mind is that it could be for the 1 seed. Like, I know that it is a long season, and these are 2 talented teams, and the Bills get all that stuff, but I'm like, with how important that 1 seed is and how the Bills have not gotten that so far and how they have fallen in the playoffs, it's like, man, you would love to have that, and it's just such an important game right out the gate.
You are 1,000% right, but can I add one more thing about the reason for patience? We have an example of a year ago where the Bills were banged up, went to Baltimore, got the doors blown off them. Who ended up the higher seed? Who hosted the playoff game?
Yeah.
It is a long season. There have been times the Bills have gone.
That's a good point.
The Bills have gone to Kansas City and won during the regular season.
Hey,
and then the Chiefs still passed them in the
Needs
standings.
to stop. We are in my territory. This is hot takes time.
I am listening to Blake, my little 3-year-old granddaughter. Grandpa, be patient. I'm trying to be patient.
That is a good point, though. I do think that's important to
Made good
remember.
points.
But for me, it's
Hall of
like
Famer.
Hall of Famer. I think maybe the 1 seed is the key for this team.
Another reason to be patient. I'll just zig while I'm zagging. The Bills are 2-2 in their last 4 week 1s.
Yeah.
So like we have seen this where it hasn't been great at times, and then look at where they end up.
How about the start against the Cardinals last year?
I was literally thinking
Sorry,
of that.
did I interrupt you?
No,
I actually
we
got
had
to you.
telepathy.
Yeah. Just beat
Well, like
you
the
to
first half was brutal. We're
Brutal.
like, do they know how to play football? Second half, the switch was flipped. Josh Allen figured things out. I mean, I'm kind of expecting to see something similar, in my opinion. I do think that the Ravens will have more urgency. If we're being honest, it's not that the Bills don't. I just think that the Ravens' motivation of losing last year in the playoffs, I think that really is a massive contributor. And I know that sounds silly, but sometimes I do think it's like that edge that maybe that team needs. Now, does that mean the Ravens win? I don't know about that, but I do think you'll see some of that edge early on. That being said, Terrell Bernard talked to us after practice. These early season games, the better execution, the better fundamentals will be from the winner.
Yeah, you see that from college football early on.
Yeah.
Missed tackles, those kind of things. And normally, especially at this point, defenses are usually still ahead of offenses. It's the pitchers ahead of hitters at, early on in the MLB season. I think the winning team puts up 30. Whoever that is. I just think this could be a track race with some of the injuries the Bills meet.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Caught myself. Track race.
Track race.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go off.
Nope.
Well, it will be a good football game that we're watching.
I also want to save some good stuff for the pod.
You know what else,
we'll
too?
do that.
I could see him on Monday saying, as I said, they need to be patient.
Could
Because you
definitely
came
see
around to that.
As Jenna can say,
Two
things can be true.
I stand by that.
That is True and true. We haven't mentioned Cole Bishop yet. He is a huge part of what's going to happen. And I did talk to Taylor Rapp. He's like, I've seen the progress from him. He goes, everybody talks about it now. I've seen the progress from him all off season long. But it's about time on task for him and snaps out there on the field. And unfortunately for him, his debut really was last year against Baltimore.
Yeah.
And that's a tough way to
Yeah.
start your NFL career, really. And now he's getting it again in year number 2.
Terrell Bernard talked a lot about early on, it's the communication. The problem for the Bills defense is it's at home. Why is that weird? Because it is going to be insanely loud. Like, that's the difference when we talk about Josh being able to communicate. The defense struggles to. So in home environments, because this place is going to be so loud. Last home opener at Highmark Stadium before they go across the street. So that's going to make it a little bit tougher on Cole. I know it's a weird dynamic to think about it, but like Bernard's going to have trouble at times relaying calls and checks, and it's that, like you said, time on task. When you've done it so many times and it's just simple, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for a guy who hasn't done it a lot in this kind of atmosphere, which will help the defense in a way, but hurt their communication.
Yeah, no, makes sense. All right, anything else before we wrap?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's going to
Come
pocket some hot takes.
To Thirsty Turtle on Thursday, September 4th. We're going to have a lot of fun, 5 to 7. And then, of course, the podcast, we're doing that afterwards as well. We would love to meet you. We would love to greet you. And then...
Thought that was funny, huh?
I did. I thought that was
It's
funny.
like almost like a dad.
Yeah, that was
line.
a dad joke. And then, like Mike talked about, we have the Connors and Ferris podcast studio. That'll be a reveal coming up later on. Tons of good stuff. We'll obviously have our recaps of what happens on the game. We'll have more, our picks, predictions, all that stuff. We're going to have it. But we wanted to do a little something while we are in the building on Wednesday. All right, so for Mike and Dan, I am Jenna. We'll catch you next time here. Oh, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.